Hi, this is Hassan from the hotglue team, and I'm going to go through a quick demo of our new Sftp integration. So what you see on my screen is a demo app, which is just a plain website showing our Sftp integration. And so you can see there's a button prompting the user to connect their Sftp server. So I'm going to click on that button, and immediately there's a pop-up that's asking me to connect my Sftp server here, and it's asking for my credentials. You'll notice that this is completely white labeled. You can customize everything on here, so the font, the colors, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my Sftp authorization settings basically. And so I'm going to put this in, and just for testing I'm going to put in a wrong password, so I wrote 123 here. And when I click connect data, it actually validates my credentials and can say, hey, we failed to link, you provided invalid credentials. So now I'm going to put in the real password and click connect. It loads and it says it's successfully linked, and then it immediately opens this Sftp file browser. So this is actually reflecting what's available in the Sftp server right now. And I can click into this upload folder and actually browse the data that's available. So you can see I have a bunch of folders listed here, and I'm going to go ahead and open this export folder, and you can see I've created this export CSV file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and select it. And so what that means is the next time that data is synced from the Sftp server, it's going to pull this file. You can select as many files as you want. You can even go ahead and select directories if you wanted to. So I'll select these two files just for testing and click save here. Now that that's saved, you can see the Sftp integration is linked. The hotglue widget actually has more functionality outside of just letting your users link, but that's all optional. So for example, you could have your users actually come back in here and set a schedule. So I could say, I want my data to sync every day at 12 a.m. And basically go to my Sftp server and pull those two files. Or I could go back and say, actually, I want to just run a testing job right now. So I'll do that. And you can see it's running a sync from my Sftp server that'll pull those two files. And so in terms of your user experience of the Sftp integration, this is really all there is to it. So the simplest thing is just connect and then select your files, but you can also offer these quick actions of setting a sync schedule or running a sync manually, or you could hide these options from your users altogether. It's up to you. If at any time the user wants to come back and edit their credentials, they can come here and basically change them. So if they move to a new host, they could change that and then just click Save Changes. So now what we'll do is we'll switch over to the hotglue admin side to see what actually happens once the data is pulled and how we set up this integration. Okay, we are here in the hotglue admin panel. Remember that this is nothing your users will ever see. This is just for using hotglue as an admin to set up your integrations. What you see here is the flows dashboard. You can see we have a flow called Sftp set up here. A flow is basically a grouping of integrations. So you can see we have under sources here, the source is Sftp files, which is the name of our new Sftp integration. There are some settings you can configure if you click into this, but that's not really relevant. But the more important thing is basically based on what your app does, you can set a target. So you could push the data to your database like Postgres, you could push it to S3 or any other of these targets that we have available, and we have more that are not listed here. And you see this tenants tab on the left. What this is basically a list of all the users of your application that have linked an integration. So you can see there's one user here called demo. This is actually the user that we linked earlier and ran a test job for. So if I click in here, you can see that there is one flow that this user has linked called Sftp, and there's one job that has run that completed successfully. And if you look at the sources, you'll see that they've linked Sftp. If you click on this, you can actually view the logs of what happened during that sync from Sftp server. And if we click download here, since this is a testing account, you can actually view what data is available. So we'll let this download and we'll open it locally just to see what the data looks like. I'm going to close this and open this zip file. You can see in here there is a folder called sync output. This folder basically contains all the data that was pulled from Sftp, and you can see the 2 CSV files we selected earlier in the hotglue widget were cloned here. So if we go back to the hotglue widget, you can see these 2 files that we selected are the same ones that the job cloned and put into this file. So that's pretty much all there is to the Sftp integration. From here, you would set up the target where the data should go and any pre-processing you wanted to do, for example, to standardize the data that the customer has imported. Thanks for watching.